What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to a brand new day of bombastic CS2 case market coverage. We're going to be going right into this because you don't waste your time or your money here at this channel. Starting off with the snakebite case, which is actually up from the last video a fair amount to 41 cents. Really reached a peak at about 43 cents. Still sitting right now at about 41 cents. Last video we were about like 38, something like that cents. So very, very steady jump on a case with still so many in circulation. So very big jump to see because that case will take obviously a longer time to move up and down because of how many are on the market. Now, with the clutch case, we are here at about 80 cents, which is a ginormous jump. So we really are seeing some very differentiating movement on some of these cases on the market today. The clutch case now up to 80 cents, which is very high from where it's been. Realistically, just been sitting around 70, 71 cents for a long time now. So very big to see that move. Now, the CS20s really haven't moved too much from where they've been hanging around. Still at about 119, just kind of around this same region for the last month and a half or more. The Prisma 2s, though, are at an all-time low realistically. Now at about a buck 30. These were around $1.50 not too long ago. So definitely a giant 20-cent drop that we've seen within the last month. It could be for a variety of reasons. A main one is that the fever case came out. But again, I've mentioned some of those other things in the past videos. We're going to get past explaining that every video. But moving on now to the Prismas, these are still also moving down pretty much to not I wouldn't say an all-time low, obviously, because they've been lower than this, but in terms of recently, a very new level of low. We've actually seen a steady drop down, but we were at about 146 at the height on these, now down to really 131, 132, soon to be around the 133 range. Hopefully, we can see that move back up. We've seen something like that happen here with the danger zone case. 135 now, though it did reach a falling point to about 126, 129 at one point. So definitely not as bad as it got at one point, but certainly down from where it was on the month. We were really at about 150, at least 151 for a little while on those. So down to 135 is not great to see, but I do think long term we're going to be seeing recovery on this. The horizons are down as well, about a cent from the last video. Nothing too crazy, down to about 203. While we did see some drops a little bit to the $2-ish range for a little while, we are back to this 203 range on that case. The shadow case, not too much movement on that from the last video. The Falcons, I think, are down slightly, perhaps from the last video. Maybe, maybe not. I don't exactly remember. I didn't get every single number down for this video. But a lot of these mid-tier price cases, minus the revolvers, which actually took a pretty steep movement down from where they've generally been trending at, to regularly sell down into the 30s on this $3 range. But besides that, we really haven't seen too much movement on really a lot of these mid-tier price cases. The ones that you do see some movement downward on generally tend to be just some offloaders minus the Gamma 2 case. Like this one is definitely some offloaders, but it still doesn't explain like the full drop off that we've seen this steadily. Where we were about like 420. I definitely think though it could just be like a few hundred cases and we could be back up to that range. Uh, and yeah, that's really the case with a lot of these. Like, while we are down a few cents on some and up a few cents on others, it's realistically not been a lot of movement on these mid-tier price cases, and you can go match up the prices from the last video on these. It's really just nothing too much to write home about, at least from where we were on the last video with a lot of these. Moving into the higher price cases, again, same thing with these. Now, the breakouts did pass into the $10 range, which is pretty huge for these. This is a first for the breakouts. I believe this is the first time it's ever broken into the $10 range. So this is history for the breakout case. I remember watching these. I had some of these when they used to be 3 cents. I don't have a ton. I wish I did, but like I have something like 40, something like that. I think of the breakout cases from way back when they were like 3 cents when I was playing the game. Like I even remember these when they were like $1, then $4. Now I see them at $10. And this is why I try and tell you guys to get into the market on these lower price cases. While we do see fluctuations generally from month to month, even from year to year, like on things where you see like, oh man, it kind of sucks we're seeing big drops right now. Like the market's not healthy, you might say, or something like that. Like I get where you're coming from, but for a long-term play, I definitely believe in all of these cases to take a similar trajectory because they're all rare cases, just like the breakout case. And in time, this number of cases in existence is going to continue to dwindle, barring something crazy happening with CS2. But it's been a very steady market for a long time, and it's a multi-billion-dollar market now. So I I definitely believe in it, and it's, in my opinion, pretty stable at least for the semi-long term, anywhere from like 4 to 8 years, in my opinion. After that, it could get a little more squirmy. You never know if a new game's going to come out. You never know what could happen in the future. But uh, I don't think they're going to be testing those waters for a long time coming, at least, just because CS2 just came out pretty recently. So anyways, you have to do your own research on why you believe the whole market would crash. But barring that, uh, we should be seeing these in time take a similar trajectory that cases like the breakout or the glove have taken. Because I remember when the glove was even like, I'm pretty sure for a while, this had a crazy jump this month. I'm pretty sure for the while, like this was even, could be wrong, but like trending on average less for less than the breakout case, and then eventually like kind of just took a steeper incline in the breakout case, and now is worth actually pretty significantly more. So it's happened to a lot of these cases, and I think it will eventually happen to some of these rare cases that are a little lower priced now. So, anyways, guys, that's about it for the recap. We've seen some big fallers on the market, really, with the Prismas and the danger zones. Those are really the biggest fallers that we've seen, as well as the Gamma 2s. And we've seen giant jumps on the snakebite case, the clutch case. So nothing too crazy, just really some staggering movement on different cases. But let me know how you guys are feeling about it down below, where your guys' thoughts are on the market, and what you think could be causing some of this market movement. Thank you guys all for coming out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.